Good morning, everybody. I'm starting a little bit early because I'm so excited. We had 2 winners this week. Our luck is changing. So here we go. Hello, everybody. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, Reiki master, intuitive guide, and empowerment coach. And I'm here every Sunday morning on Lada's channel at 11 a.m. Pacific time live. This is Lucky, everybody, if you haven't met him before, the little love of my life. So we're just saying good morning. All right, here we go. All right, so first off, the business at hand. So every week, you guys, we play a game. And, my hair's looking a little funky. We had, 2 winners. So our first winner was number 369, and it was Sir Gordon Gecko. It was in the live chat. And then Miss Bonnie Massey won with 222. She was the first person to put that in there in the chat. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Elise. Good morning, Starry Eyed. Good morning, Ritu. Rana? Okay. So you guys have 1 week to claim your prize. You don't have to schedule it, but you have to let me know and claim it. So if you send me an email and let me know what's going on, we'll go from there. Okay, Dark Crescent. I'm actually Teri Hunter, and I'm on Lada's channel every week, so just want to identify that. Good morning, Misbehaving. You're having a birthday on the new moon. Congratulations. Good morning, Debbie Ruth. Okay, so talking about animal totems this week, or our totems, and I was walking my dog, and this feather crossed my path, and I felt like it was a great little totem this week because it's something that's fairly common, and yet, I guess the way I saw it is, I know this came off of a seagull, but it was like, it's white. It feels like angel wings. It felt like Spirit was saying to keep my head up high, to keep looking towards the future. And I mean this in a way like, I titled this video, Are You Feeling Aggravated? Because this new moon is going to be in aspecting Mars opposing Uranus. So it can bring irritability, it can bring aggravation, it can bring unexpected bouts of crankiness. And I say all this, good morning, small wildflowers. Yes, was a little early today because this relates back to our feather totem. This new moon is the last new moon before the eclipse at the next moon. So the irritation, aggravation, I myself have been feeling it. I'm trying to be calm, and it seems like I'm not doing a very good job. Somebody told me I was being short with them yesterday. I was trying not to be. It was through a text. So I just want to offer this. Our totem this week is feathers, and feathers represent the angelic realm. Keep our sights high and being gentle with ourselves. Small wildflowers, we had 2 winners this week. We're winner chicken dinner. 369 was won by Sir Gordon Gecko, so hopefully he'll show up and claim his prize. And then Miss Bonnie Massey won with 222, our first master number winner. So, okay, here we go. All right, let's see. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Shalom Shemet. Oh, Shalom, you've been irritated. Yes, that's part of this growing influence. Okay. I know sometimes it's hard to hold our cranky down, but I think the best thing we can do is put a little warning label and say, you know what, guys, if I'm a little short, give me a little get out of jail free card. Because this is a growing influence, and I talk every week about Saturn and Saturn and Pluto coming together, and they are creeping towards each other, and then this aspect between Mars and Uranus is going to be it'll last for a few days. It's going to take a while for Mars to move off of that. So I just want to give yourselves, it's Thanksgiving week here in the United States. So we will be, embracing our family and friends and things like that. So I'm just be, um, I guess gentle with yourself is the way I want to put it. You know what? If you don't have a reason for feeling cranky and you just feel cranky, well, you just feel cranky. It's just the way it happens. Okay. Good morning, Jason. Good morning again, misbehaving. All right. It's so exciting to have two winners. All right. I feel a little distracted this morning. I don't know why. I think I'm just, my brain is doing something. Okay. So let's start with our readings right now. We're going to start as usual with Pisces and move our way towards Aries. Good morning, Flamingo. Welcome, welcome. For those of you that are new to my show, I'm here every Sunday morning on Lada's channel, and what I do is I'm an angel therapy practitioner. So I'm not necessarily doing astrological readings as much as the angels are giving advice for how to traverse these aspects, for how to best serve yourself as we walk through these changing times. So that's what I'm kind of focusing on. Oh, Starry Ed, your health. That's so interesting that you say that, because you know what? I want to offer this idea. I think when we're talking about our human bodies right now, it's really important for us vibrationally to take care of and fuel our bodies with things that will, I guess the way I want to put it is to help us sustain and to work through these transit. I had given up coffee for almost a year. And in the last few weeks, the peppermint mochas came out at Starbucks, and dang it, if I didn't start drinking the mochas. Now I've only had 3 of them, but already I feel the effects of it. So part of it this week, if you guys can be mindful of what you're putting into your bodies, because that will help either spark or inflame irritation, or it could help calm it down. So, and I want to offer this, if starry-eyed, if your health has been irritating you, then you might want to start to use this period of time to see what it is that's actually irritating you. For a long time, I was thinking that gluten was an issue for me, and I've discovered that it's really dairy. Dairy is a real problem for my body as I've gotten older. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's go on. So, anything else? When will I get my new job? Okay. If you'd like to get a reading with me, you can always go to Lada's channel and book a reading with me. And you know what? I'm feeling like my brain isn't working. So let's start. Let's get into the reading so I can just get this going. All right. Here we go. Pisces, sun, moon, and ascendant stelliums. And somebody said, what's a stellium? Stellium is a group of planets in one sign. So if you have 3 or more planets, it could be your Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Uranus. It could be any one of the other than your rising moon and sun. So the reason I say that is because if you have a group of planets in one sign, it has a strong influence on you. So pay attention to that as well. Okay, here we go. Welcome, Teri King, first time here. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, everybody. All right, I gotta stop saying good morning and just get on with it. Pisces rising, here we go. Our first angel is Caressa. The second is Layla. The third is Desiree. And the final is Astera. All right. Joining Caressa is the partnership card. Joining Layla is the cat. Joining Desiree is the letting go card. And joining Astera is the horse. All right. So I want to offer this. Caressa talks about you're at the end of a life cycle, that new happiness awaits you, and to allow God and the angels to comfort and guide you as you move forward. And here we have the partnership card. I want to say this for my Pisces. I don't believe this is about human partnership. I actually believe this is about partnership with the 2 sides of yourself. I mean it this way. Uranus represents independence, represents freedom, represents, the freedom to express yourself as is authentic to you. So I want to offer it this way. Mars is, the truth seeker. Mars, well, is always getting the bad rap for being cranky and aggravated and, lobbing off the heads, bolting its way through. I feel like on some level, as Pisces is authentic to whatever gives them a sense of freedom, whatever is their deeper truth, and you're coming into partnership with this, with your guides and your angels, because here we have the cat and we have Layla. The cat represents independence and healthy boundaries, and Layla represents spending time in nature so that spirit can connect. And we talked about feathers being this week's symbol. So look and connect, because this is giving you wings to fly in many ways. Because what I want to say for my Pisces is, in the angel's advice is the letting go card and Desiree. The letting go card, for you guys that are new to my show, I think of this as the song Let It Go from the first movie, Frozen. It's funny how some distance makes everything look small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. And then Desiree is here asking you to take time before you move forward. Desiree talks about conditions not necessarily being favorable, and to allow spirit to start to lead the way. This is what these two positions, Pisces, this is my opportunity and or my obstacle, and this is the angel's advice for taking advantage of the opportunity or getting around the obstacle. For me, this is really for Pisces, is an opportunity to sit back and to allow spirit to give you the next logical step, so that you can start to feel that you are working in concert with spirit. Because in the final position is the horse and Astera. And for me, the horse is an intuitive animal. It does not follow fear. And Astera is saying to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires, and to not compromise. This is not about bulldozing the humans in your life. It's more about not compromising with spirit. So I want to offer it this way. The new moons are about new beginnings, and every new beginning has some sort of ending. And what I think that this Sagittarian new moon is, because Sagittarius rules the connection to the angelic realm, it rules our belief system, our higher belief system. I believe for Pisces, and Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. So I want to put all this together and say, if you're feeling aggravated, or if you're feeling irritated because your deeper truth is being somehow thwarted, is somehow either having trouble expressing it, or you're having trouble feeling okay about the way you want to move. Maybe there's something sort of going on. Like, I guess I want to put it this way. There could be the potential that Pisces is feeling an expectation from their world, from their community, from their families, from whatever is in what your closest inner circles are. But I don't know that these people are actually expressing that, as much as Pisces may be thinking, this is what is expected of me. So you're starting to feel this war between what you want and what you think other people are wanting or expecting of you. And what I feel like, this is a time to allow yourself to go into what it is you want, to put an end to other people's expectations of you, and to reach for the stars with what you want, and then allow spirit to start to blaze a new trail. I think that's what this is about for Pisces. So let's look at it this way. This new moon is about declaring my new intentions for the month coming ahead, the next 28 days. That 28 days, there's going to be an eclipse. So when we put our intention and our focus in what we want that eclipse to bring to us, we can, I guess what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when we think of eclipses and we think of fated events, we think of bad things. We think, oh no, something bad's going to happen. What is it? Twindians? You said you lost your job August 1st. Those are the kind of things that we kind of attach to these eclipses. What if it's the opposite? What if this awareness and this intention and this directive to spirit is actually going to start to move things in the direction that we want? What if all of this disruption actually starts to bear a bigger wisdom, a deeper truth? And then, as light beings that we are on this planet, as we activate into our deeper truth, then we start to really bring about that revolution that I keep having that song stuck in my head, that Beatles song, You Say You Want a Revolution. That's what, to me, Uranus is offering. That's what Mars is offering. If we surrender to this opposition, if we realize that what we're irritated about is living a deeper or not living our deeper truth, then we can allow for that to start to express itself. Yes, small wildflowers, what you think about, you bring about. Exactly. I hope that made sense for Pisces. We're going to move on to Aquarius. And I want to say this, this last couple of years, a lot of people have been experiencing some real challenging, muddy roads where we're able to make some progress, but it's sticky and it feels like there's no flow. And I want to say this for Twindians, it's sometimes when we lose a job, it's really the impetus or it's the catalyst for the change that our soul is yearning for. So, because sometimes if we did not, okay, gosh, my words, I feel so choppy today. I guess I want to put it this way. When I had my last job, if it had served me, if they had appreciated me the way I felt that, because I worked hard for them, if they had paid me well, I never would have gotten disgruntled. And if I'd never gotten disgruntled, I wouldn't have pushed towards the truth of my heart, which is doing this work here. So sometimes losing our job is actually a blessing in disguise because it's propelling us towards the thing that I really, really, or we really, really want from and that's what this whole Pluto Saturn thing is about. This is what all this disruption is about. Okay, let's go on to our Aquarius. Stephen, I can see you. Your chat is not disabled. I can read what you're writing. This is small wildflowers. You're right. The yuck it serves a purpose. If we never had crappy experiences, we wouldn't know how to appreciate good experiences. And I've really been shown over and over again by spirit that this particular time, this crescendo, this next 6 months or so we're being activated. We're being turned on in some respects to shine our light in a way that is so unabashed on who we want to be, that this is setting the tone for the years to come. And so I feel like fighting it is futile in some ways. And I want to say this too, because everybody's sensitive. So if people are responding to you and you don't even think you're being as cranky as they think they're being, or you're being, little get out of jail free card. All right, on to Aquarius. I go backwards, people. So I don't know. I started like 2 Mercury retrogrades ago and I just stuck. So we are on our second sign. We're on Aquarius and we're heading towards Aries. Yes, crappy experiences not only make us grow, but they also propel us into our deeper truth. So our first angel for Aquarius is Opal. The second is Teresa. The third is Desiree, again in the same position, and then Celeste. Okay. Good morning, Arush. Did I say good morning, C? Is that Sasan? Good morning. Good day, good evening, wherever you are in the world. All right, joining Opal is the Risk card. Joining Teresa is the Queen. Joining Desiree is the Grail Knight. And joining Celeste is the Deer. Okay. So when I'm talking to such a large potential group of people, when I get Opal, which represents your children being safe on heaven and earth and being cared for by God, this is really, to me, bigger than just human children. It may be that Aquarius wants to indeed have a family, but for me, this is the inner child. This is the child that has dreams that doesn't know that they can't achieve them. This is the innocence of youth. And here's the risk card. And I'm saying this, the risk card is the willingness for Aquarius, sun, moon, rising, and stelliums to go into a childlike innocence, because I want to go to the final position. Here is Celeste and the deer. Celeste represents a move to a new home or a new place of employment, ushering in new positive energy. But to me, it's a shift in the way I'm thinking. And it's about being gentle and diplomatic with myself, Aquarius, as I risk a bigger version of myself. Let me go back for a second. Because what I want to say is that this deeper truth, this wanting to going to a deeper place is it's about vulnerability in some ways. It's about being vulnerable to the idea that, okay, I want to have a family. I want to be in love. I want to be a movie star. I want to be a rock star. I want to be living by myself somewhere in Alaska. Whatever your deepest truth of your heart, whatever the inner child, whatever you played up, it's time to risk contemplation of that. It's time to risk going into that story. And what does it feel like? Because Teresa talks about worry for me and about taking care of other people more so than taking care of myself. This is an Aquarius's opportunity and or obstacle. And then there's the Queen card. To me, in this position, it's really more about Aquarius taking time to put the focus on themselves and then to engage the laws of allowing, to allow yourself to bring in the experiences, to contemplate what those are. It's not about taking action. It's more of an interior job. Because again, in the angel's advice is Desiree saying conditions aren't favorable because Aquarius needs to get down in some ways on their knees to their deeper truth. This is Lancelot, and he is bowing to Excalibur. Excalibur is the sword of truth. Only the most pure knight can pull Excalibur out of the stone. So I feel like what this is about is really allowing the Uranian aspect or the Uranian influence of Aquarius to think about your independence, about your freedom, about what makes you tick, and then allow yourself the privilege of gently and diplomatically allowing your mind to catch up with your heart, is the way I want to put it. I hope that makes sense. So I want to kind of encapsulate this for Aquarius, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. This is a time to dig deep into what truly makes you tick, what makes you unique. That's what Uranus represents, is uniqueness, our unique expression, our individuality. And that's what separates the human from all the other living things on the earth plane. You know, when you see a golden retriever, almost all the golden retrievers look the same. Their differences are minuscule. But with humans, we all have the same operating. We all have two hands. We all come with two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. But we're all so different. And that's what I think that this is about. And with this new moon and with this idea that Mars is opposing Uranus, you can take this, the on the surface of it, it can feel like unexpected irritation and irritability and anxiousness and craziness and feeling all nervous and kinetic. But with some awareness, we can take the positive sides of these planets, the truth seeker that Mars offers. What is my truth and my unique expression that Uranus offers? And then gently allow ourselves to marry these two things together within our hearts and our minds, and then take that into our physical action. Okay, so we're going to go on to Capricorn. Yes, Jupiter is heading. Did Jupiter move into Capricorn yet? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think there's still a few degrees to go. It will be interesting to see. I'm kind of looking forward to that because Jupiter will be transiting my Saturn and my midheaven over the next year or so. So hopefully that'll bear some fun fruit. Good luck with your job interview, Stephen. Oh, is it January 2nd? Okay, good. Okay, here we go. We're going on to our Capricorns. Capricorn rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. Give it a good shuffle. No, Jelly, I'm on my way to Scorpio. I'm on Capricorn. I go backwards. So I start on Pisces and work my way towards Aries. Welcome from Berlin. Thank you, Berlin, for being here. Our first angel for Capricorn is Aurora. The second is Athena. The third is Serena. And the final is Archangel Gabriel. Awesome. Okay. No, heading towards Taurus and Leo. We're going backwards. So we're on our third sign, Capricorn, ascendant, moon, sun, and stelliums. All right. Here we go. Joining Aurora is the frog. Joining Athena is the protection card. Joining Serena is the queen. And joining Archangel Gabriel is the earth fairy. Okay. For my Cappies, my little goats, here we go. Aurora says, you're flying high right now. Don't descend. It may threaten others, but you will soon be inspired by your example. When the threat, I always think, is about breaking the box. It's about going about things in a way that doesn't seem practical to others, or maybe doesn't make sense to others. And then here we have the frog. The frog represents cleaning your emotional house. It represents, for me, good luck, leaping from one lily pad to another. So for me, what I see for Capricorn really is that you've been going through a process. As Saturn has been in your sign, I feel like it's given you an opportunity to really look and review as to what is important to you and what you want to experience on this earth. And in the opportunity or the obstacle, we have Athena, who says it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself. And then we have the protection card. And when I say this for Capricorn, it feels like you're asserting yourself from a different vibration. It almost feels as if Capricorn has evolved from a very logical, practical, realistic viewpoint to actually believing a little bit more broadly in how we manifest. I want to say a little more in magic. And I say that because in the Angel's Advice, we have Serena and the Queen. And if you look at them, they're both so open-bodied. Serena has her eyes closed. She is sitting in loving reception for the abundance that God and the angels will bring, as does the Queen. So for me, this is really, for Capricorn, what I'm sensing is that you're starting to really start to believe the idea that if I believe it, I will see it, versus if I see it, I'll believe it. And so you're learning to manifest from a new place, because here is Archangel Gabriel, and here's the earth fairy. And Archangel Gabriel will talk about having an important life's purpose in communications and the arts, and whatever insecurities you may have, to turn them over to her. And then we have the earth fairy, which talks about groundings, foundations. It can be about physical health, but for me, this is really about Capricorn breaking the box of thought, which is changing the way you view yourself and the world. And it's allowing you to start to create a new foundation, a new beginning based on a connection to spirit versus just trying to push. Capricorn will, or Saturn will ask you to work hard, to do things realistically, practically, to cross your T's and dot your I's. And if you're not working hard, then you're not manifesting. This now feels like the flip side of that. It's where we start to see that the real hard work comes from our interior, what we believe, and then we take actions based on that. And that's where I believe Saturn starts to reward us. So for my Capricorns, you're breaking the box of thought. You're doing things from a being energy before you're taking your physical action. This is the new way of thinking. And I think you're mastering it because this is where Athena and the protection card and Serena and the Queen are telling me that you're learning how to receive, how to to um, to know that you deserve regardless of how much work you've put in, because the true work comes from that willingness to say, it comes from the laws of allowing good things to come in, knowing that when they come in, that you have done the believing work, not the doing work. Okay, so let's go on to our Sagittarius now. I'm kind of excited for Capricorn in some ways. I know it sounds kind of funny, but I feel like, I mean, I've had Saturn sitting on my midheaven for weeks, and I'll tell you, I'm over it. I'm over it. But at the same time, it's also given me an opportunity to really reflect, and it's also revealed for me people who have been authentic and people who are not authentic. So in that surrendering to the dynamic, surrendering to the pause, surrendering to the restriction, because it's giving me an opportunity to see from my heart versus with my eyes. Okay, hope that made sense. What are all these little icons? Oh, you've got that's an archer? What is that, Stephen, that you're putting up there? Is that like a moon? All right, here we go. Here we go, our Saggies. Bow and arrow, exactly. Okay, that's so cute. Okay, here we go. Welcome, Cosmo Kid. Welcome, Elise. Hi, Stacy. Did I get everybody? I hope so. Angela, good morning. All right, Sagittarius, our first angel is Desiree. The second is Bridget. The third is Grace and Antoinette. And the final is Adriana. Okay. Barbara, that's kind of fun having Venus in the Sagittarius in the 5th house. I think that would be a really fun placement. I think that would make you super creative and attractive and bring fun in your romance life. I guess it would depend on the aspects coming, but okay, here we go. I unfortunately have Venus in Virgo in the 5th house or 6th house, depending upon which sign you look at, or whole sign. Okay, here we go. Desiree is being joined by the eagle. Bridget is being joined by the communications card. Grace and Antoinette's being joined by the frog, and Adriana's being joined by the earth fairy. Okay. All right, so this is how I want to put this. I talked about this Mars opposing Uranus during this new moon, which is going to create some crankiness, unexpected arguments, irritability, agitation, and I think an anxiousness to move on to the next phase. I mean, I say the next phase, I mean the next phase of manifestation. I feel like, as we're getting closer and closer to the holidays in the United States, we have Thanksgiving this week. So we'll see a lot of hustle and bustle around that. So, because this is what I want to say for Sagittarius. Desiree is talking about conditions not being favorable right now, which, Stephen, I'm sorry that Desiree is coming up with this with your phone interview, but I want to put it this way, because here's the eagle. The eagle represents the connection to the angelic realm. It represents integrity, and it represents spirit overall. And I want to say this because how this is looking to me is that if Sagittarius in any way is this week and in this new moon manifesting from fear, I need a job, I need a partner, I need this. I feel like that's what Desiree is talking about. I feel like there's the potential that as because this is the thing. We have this new moon, but we also have the Pluto aspect. We have the Okay, guys, no cussing on this show. No, we can't do that. Sorry, Twindians. Because I want to put it this way. I don't think this is a negative thing. I think this is more about if indeed you're getting tired of the road. Like, Stephen, I know you've been looking for a job for a while, and I know that it's been frustrating for you. But I also think that there is this deeper wisdom that's going on. So, Sagittarius, if indeed you're manifesting from your wallet versus your wish list, from fear versus faith, then I think you're going to have a little bit of a challenge. So, I feel like Desiree is saying to really look deeper into what your motives are, because here's Bridget. Bridget is saying, again, caution is warranted, look deeper. And then we have the communications card. So, what is it that you're telling yourself? This is so easy with this Saturn influence um, to really doubt ourselves, to start to think, doubt our value, doubt how we, you know, land on other people, doubt if we're, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of a kooky thing. And so then here we have this new moon and we think, oh, I'm going to create this, set this great intention. And I think that this new moon might best be served in looking as to what is the deeper truth of that intention. So let's say we'll use Stephen as an example. I want to manifest a new job. I haven't worked in a while, and I'm starting to get nervous about my money. That feels like it's the wrong platform. It feels more about, you know what, this is how I want to feel when I walk into my job every day. This is how I want to experience leaving my job every day. These are the people I want to be around. I think it's more about the environment, about how you feel throughout the day versus what you will get once a week or once every 2 weeks, meaning your paycheck. Because Sagittarius, in the angel's advice, is Grace and Antoinette, which is a card of compassion. It's a card of looking at things from another perspective. And then we have the frog, which represents cleaning up my emotional house. It also represents good luck. And part of that good luck is going to come from being able to look deeper into what my motivations are. Because Adriana is leading you towards the answers to your prayers so you can truly create a new foundation, a new platform with which you will experience life. So, Stephen, you say, I have irons on the back burner to start astrology tarot business or teaching as an artist. I tend to think that that might be a deeper truth for you. I tend to think that, the idea of being an astrologer and having a business as an astrologer might feel like pie in the sky. How will I make money? Oh, no, I need to go get a brick and mortar job so that I can do that, so that this will make me have fun. I think that's what all this caution is about. If indeed you want to start your own business, no matter what it is, I don't care if you want to be a woodworker or if you want to be a designer or you want to be an actress, going authentically to that direction is going to start to make movement. So that's what this next week offers us, to look at the opposition between Uranus and Mars, which is I think it's in the quintile. I can't remember. It's 2 houses over from the new moon. So it's creating this aspect about wanting woodworker. I was being sarcastic, whatever you want, Twindians, whatever you want to do. It's because as we focus in on that, spirit will start to open doors. That's what Adriana is saying. And if we never focus in on it, then she can't give us those signs and signals that we are moving in the right direction. So I want to just use Stephen as my example, because I love my Stephen. You've been looking for a job for a while right now. And while I know you enjoy teaching, I feel like maybe there's something that you've been missing a little bit. Maybe you've been missing the idea that I enjoy astrology more than I enjoy teaching math or physics or whatever the thing may be. I used to work in Hollywood and I used to work in production on some sitcoms. And while it was fun and everything, every day I was reading tarot cards for my coworkers and reading their astrology in the newspaper and playing there. And on the weekends, I would be going to the bookstores and reading about reincarnation. And at the same time, my lip service was, oh, I'm going to be a writer in Hollywood. And while I was really good at writing, it was not the truth of my passion. And so once I started to really pay attention to my truth, then doors started to open. And then I ended up here on Sunday mornings. Spirit can do amazing things. We just have to line up with it. All right, going on to Scorpio. Stephen, I think maybe you've just kind of, it's kind of time to own the whole astrology thing. I think maybe there's something going on here deeper than you realize. Lyle, if you want to be a psych teacher, go for it. And you know what? The thing about astrology, Pluto's all about psychology, really. Yes, it is. I know it's a pain in the ass. It's all right for it to be a pain in the ass, because if it wasn't a pain in the ass, we wouldn't know what it feels like when it stops being. And this is what I think is where we have to get to our deeper truth, guys. This is where I think the more we're struggling to stay in an older version of ourselves, the harder that may end up being. Okay, let's get on to Scorpio. Oops, I want to start with the angels. I always like to do that. Lena, if you want to become a music therapist, really this is what I want to offer each one of you. I'm so excited that you're saying what you really deeply want in the chat, because as you say that, you're saying on some level to Spirit, I'm ready to step into that vibration. And Spirit just needs your invitation to start to move things around. So as you learn to or be brave, that's what I want to say. As you practice being brave in your own version of yourself, Spirit will honor that bravery, and it will give you the signs, the omens, the money that you need, the resources. I really prefer to say resources than money, because money is so small in comparison to what resources can do. So using this new moon to set up an intention, exactly, Stephen, for wanting to start to, okay, I'm going to back up for a second. You guys, before I got to be Teri and working for herself full time, I was working for a chiropractor for 3 years. And each Christmas, I wrote myself a love letter. My God-given name is Teresa. And I would write the love letter to Teresa from Teri, because Teri is the evolved version of Teresa. And I would tell her how proud I was of her for her efforts to trust herself, to go towards her true north. And then I made a promise to her that I would support that version of her. And so I would declare to Spirit, this is the year I work more for myself than I work for someone else. And I really did this in percentages. I'm working 70% for myself, 30% for someone else. And each year it became more and more, until the final year, which I did not know was happening. So it was my openness to be in a space to trust Spirit that if they brought something disruptive, it was only disrupting what was old, so it could bring in the truth of what I want and what was new. So I want to offer you that as we're going through these holidays. Honor yourself. Put yourself first. Put your intentions, what you want, because this holiday season is incredibly powerful for manifestation. And it may be disruptive in some ways. Remember, not only do we have 2 eclipses coming, we have Uranus is going to go direct, and we have that Pluto-Saturn conjunction in the middle of January. So we're setting a tone to move forward. Okay. Okay, Elise K, I just love what you wrote. You started a new job in nutrition after you made a choice to go with your heart on that vegan journey, and Spirit honors it. And you know what, Diolinda, it's okay to be afraid. It's just about being brave through your fear, because that's where the real tail wag comes. That's where the real excitement comes. Okay, here we go. On to our Scorpios. And I want to offer all of you this in the chat. As each one of you writes in the chat what you declare you want, and that you are brave within just the contemplation of that becomes the activation. So when I talk about us being activated, it's as if Spirit is allowing our light to shine even more brightly, so that we can shine a light for others. It's almost as if it's our loving service to go towards ourself, because as we do that, we inadvertently give permission for other people to do that. So yes, you did. You just missed Sagittarius, JP. We're going on to Scorpio right now. So here we go. Whoops. And I just want to say, everybody, we had 2 winners this week. I haven't seen Bonnie in the chat yet, but Bonnie Massey won with 222 last week, and Sir Gordon Gecko won with 369. Both of these numbers have been in the chat quite a few times over the weeks, but this is the first time they've shown up. So I just want to offer that. You guys have 1 week to claim your prizes. And just so all of you just coming in, our totem this week is feathers. Pay attention to feathers. And as you do, that's about paying attention to keeping your eyesight up and knowing that you're being protected by God and the angels. Okay, here we go. Scorpio. I've been taught that, yes, negativity does bring more negativity, but what happens is it is the focus. We can actually think about our challenges, and you can think of, okay, this is going to sound a little kooky, but Abraham says that if you think about something for 17 seconds or less, you're not getting any momentum. So you can contemplate your challenges. It's just don't focus on them. Don't harp on them, because it's in the harping on that you're giving focus that's creating more momentum. So as you focus on the solution, okay, the solution is, I don't know what the solution is, but I know how it feels when the solution steps in. I feel relief. I feel at peace. I feel supported. I feel like I have plenty of money in the bank. Those kind of things. Okay. Earth Angel, congratulations. Congratulations for joining a team and being aware of your activation. So now we can just go out there and make this place what it's supposed to be, the fun, manifesting, creative plane. Okay, here we go. Our first angel for Scorpio is Chantal. The second is Shanti. The third is Ariel. And the final is Serena. Okay. Jelly, I'm not sure what your question is when you say, how could I know my number? We play a game every week where you can win a free half-hour reading with me. Pick a number between 2 and 500, and then we draw. We're going to start drawing 2 numbers a week because it was getting really sad. Nobody was winning, and we had 2 winners, so I'm so excited. Again, you have 1 week to claim your prizes. Sir Gordon Gecko, haven't seen you in the chat, and Bonnie Massey, who will be here at some point, I'm sure. Numbers in the live chat supersede numbers in the comments. And if you don't leave your number, you don't have a chance to win. Okay. Joining Chantal is the perception card. Joining Shanti is the movement card. Joining Ariel is the wealth card. And joining Serena is the dragon. All right, my Scorpio, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Here we go. Chantal's our romance angel. She talks about the resurgence of an existing relationship or a new relationship coming in. And then we have the perception card. And I want to offer it this way because to me, when I look at this, I don't necessarily want to focus in on the actual relationship part as much as I want to focus again on the interior, because in the opportunity or the obstacle is Shanti, the angel of peace. And before peace can come in, we must move whatever is disrupting that peace. And then we have the movement card here. I think, Scorpio, it may be your perception of romance that is disrupting your peace. Let's say, Scorpio loves the most intensely of all the 12 signs. It's the kind of thing where when I picture Scorpio in love, it's like I want to crawl inside your skin and know everything about you. And I feel like there could be the potential that Scorpio has been feeling like challenged in that real deep connection. So I feel like It's more about looking at your perception. Not everybody is as deep as Scorpio. Not everybody is wanting to, I guess I want to put it this way. When I think about this, my dad was kind of a simple man. I just loved to drink his beer, smoke his cigarettes, play golf, watch TV, get up, go to work the next day. Me, on the other hand, man, everything from the time I can remember, I wanted to change the world. I wanted the world to be a better place. I once had a guy I was dating say, "Do you ever have a small thought?" So this is what I want to say for Scorpio. I feel like there's the potential that in relationships that maybe you're missing something because you're digging too deep, and that maybe there's more. I guess I want to put it this way: in the simplicity of others, there may be more and you're missing it, because in the angel's advice, I have the wealth card and the connection to spirit. So I want to offer you this. If indeed your relationship feels, or your perception of intimate relationships feels um, stymied, is the way I want to put it, feels like you're not getting what you're looking for. I feel like on some level, I want to say to Scorpio, maybe you're looking for something that isn't really there, meaning looking for a deeper meaning that isn't there. And I say this because Serena is in the angels in the final position, and so is the dragon. And I feel like it's about calming down. Let me just kind of see if I can be more succinct. For Scorpio, when it comes to your love life, I feel like there's the potential that you may be looking deeper into a situation that really is not, it doesn't merit it. Some people are just, what you see is what you get. And maybe that's being a little bit hard for you to accept because maybe you've been struggling in relationships, or you've been struggling in your perception of relationships, and now things are kind of calming down. That's the way I want to go. So in order for the peace to come in, you have to accept that everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's lining up. Okay. I hope that made sense, because I really think it's for Scorpio's love body. So whether you're in a relationship or not, things are lining up. So if you want a relationship, if that's the challenge, then it's about focusing on how it feels to be in that relationship. Because sometimes, I guess I want to put it this way. Lovingly, I want to say to Scorpio, there may not be a problem, and you may be perceiving a problem because you've got to get used to being happy in a relationship, used to being receiving in a relationship. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah, Debbie Ruth, it is what it is. Don't look for a problem that may not be there. That's how I want to put it. Okay. All right. Now, Lucretia, 527 is out of range. So you could reduce that number down to a 14. You could change it, but our number range is between 2 and 500. And first come, first serve. All right, here we go. On to our Libras. And we will end up putting a recap of the numbers, because once a number's played, it is out of play. So we're getting down to that, getting that jar down. Okay, Libra, Sun, Moon, Stelliums, and Rising, of course. Oh, the numbers are to win a free half hour with me. And you have 1 week to come back and claim your prize. Okay, Libra, here we go. You could give as many numbers as you like, but what I find is that the people that have won usually only put one number in. I haven't seen anybody who put multiple numbers actually win yet. Okay. Our first angel is Grace and Antoinette. The second is Daniel. The third is Ariel. And the final is Chantal. Ooh. Love is in the air. Let's see for Libra. We've got Jupiter and Venus, pretty much conjunct right now. We don't talk about that much because the challenging dynamics are sort of overshadowing that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to bring some warm, fuzzy stuff in. Okay, here we go. Grace and Antoinette is being joined by the Joy card. Daniel's being joined by the Owl. Ariel's being joined by the Bear. And Chantal is being joined by the Water Fairy. Okay, wow. So this is interesting because for Libra, Grace and Antoinette is a card of compassion. It's a card of seeing other people's point of view. And I think Libra's really good at that. Honestly, Libra, you represent diplomacy, fairness. And then there's the Joy card. How does that really feel? I wonder if Libra's not feeling slightly challenged right now. And I want to go here to the final position because Chantal is the romance angel, and then there's the Water Fairy. And I want to put it this way. I'm a single Libra. I just turned 60 years old this last October, and I've never been married and I don't have any children. And I'll tell you, sometimes I think, wow, how many birthdays are going to go by before I have a partner? How many Thanksgivings are going to go by before I get to have a partner? And after so many of them, it's hard sometimes to really imagine what it would be like. But you know what? I just have to keep kind of holding out. And I want to say it this way because I could have somebody sitting in my home. I could have a body here, but I don't want a body here. I want a partner here. So this would be somebody who is compatible with me, who thinks like I think. And if I'm really honest, I've never met anybody, at least not my age. I could say Darren and I have had some great astrology conversations, but Darren's 30 and I'm 60, so he's not going to be my partner. Darren Collins, by the way, as I'm talking about the astrologer on Lada's channel, because this is where I get to have compassion for myself. And honestly, in some respects, look at the joy. What have I created? So Libra, you know what? Have compassion for yourself in your situation now and allow yourself to express joy, because I believe on an intuitive level that you know that the partnership that you want or the partnership that you're in has an opportunity to thrive, to blossom, to be reignited. And part of it is your focus on that, because in the opportunity of the obstacle is Daniel, the angel of marriage, and the owl. Now, Daniel will talk about helping you bring a partner in, but he also talks about your history and what do you perceive about relationships. And the owl is asking you to look at both sides. So what happens to the human after years and years of experiencing the same thing? We start to believe that that's true. And here's in my angel's advice, here's the Bear, again, talking about my history and the connection to the angelic realm. Ariel talks about new psychic and spiritual experiences changing the way you view yourself and the world. So for my Libras, the sign of partnership, I want to say this. This is a time to really implement, if I believe it, I will see it. Whether you're in an existing relationship or whether you're wanting a relationship, it's kind of a moment in time to have compassion for yourself and to say, if I really look at my history, there is nothing in my history that would have supported what I want to experience here in my present and in my future. And for those that are in partnership, it's an opportunity to really give yourself permission to start to focus in on what is working versus what is not working. Okay, that's where I want to put it. Stephen, when I turned 50, it was really weird. First of all, the first time I wrote that number down, I had a moment. But you know what? Best decade of my life. Claimed myself as no other. And in doing so, I'm living a truth that I could never have perceived. So I want to offer you this. Be excited. Be excited about what wisdom being a seasoned professional on this planet is. 43 years married, Debbie Ruth, that is just like amazing to me. That is just, I don't know. There's a lot of wisdom that you've garnished, I'm sure, in 43 years of compromise and of partnership. That's really cool. Okay. John Agur, what's 19 August? Is that your anniversary as well? Okay, here we go. 50. I have to say, honestly, I'm not a person who, I'm not a Botoxer. I don't do fillers, as y'all can tell. I have like little wrinkles here, but I have to tell you, I wouldn't trade my face to be young again at all. I mean, these have been challenging years believing in myself, but boy, what a what a rewarding experience it has been. And this is because of the connection to spirit. Because that's the way I operate. I start with my connection to spirit and then I go into my guided action from there. So, all right, let's go on to our Virgos. Technically, Stephen, I'm in my 61st year of life because when you turn 60 or 50, you've actually lived that whole year. Because think about it. When you're a baby, you're 1 month old, 2 months old, 3 months old, a year old, da 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 da. So technically, you're already 50, Stephen. Okay. Scents and stones, like, wow, 28 years. I'm so impressed with people that have been married for a long period of time. I really think that that is something to be super proud of. Okay. Virgo, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Here we go. Wow, Lana Jarvis, that is amazing. Parsons, that's one of my family names. Okay, here we go. Isabella for our Virgos. Then we have Layla. Then we have Omega. And then we have Aurora. Exciting. Wow, this is so many people been married for so long. This is so wonderful. My goodness. Small wildfires, you and I are birds of a feather. Girlfriend, you are my kind of peeps. All right, here we go. Joining Isabella is the Fear card. Joining Layla is the Queen. Joining Omega is the Grail Knight. And joining Aurora is the Swan. Wow. Okay. So for my Virgos, seems kind of funky, Isabella saying, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectation. And then there's the Fear card. I want to say this, and I've said it a few times. You guys have heard me say this. I don't like being in fear. I don't like being scared. But you know where empowerment lies? Through the journey of fear. Where does exhilaration lie? Along the road of fear. The only way that the human, and this is why we actually come here, believe it or not, we come on this planet as souls to go under the veil of the unknowing, because it is through faith that we feel our greatest accomplishments. And so, Virgo, yes, the timing is right to walk through your fears. Yes, the timing is right to say, why not me? Why can't I win? Because in your opportunity or your obstacle is Layla and the Queen. So Layla, for me, is about going into nature so that God and the angels can use nature to confirm that I am in reception. The Queen does not push. She doesn't try to make things happen. She receives things. So I want to offer this. It is time to receive gifts from whatever fears you have, because I'm going to jump to the final position and then I'll go to the third position. Aurora's saying you're flying high right now. Don't descend, because you will soon inspire others. Okay. And then there's the transformation, which is about trusting your intuitive gifts. This is really, for my Virgos, about stepping out of your practicality, stepping out of your expectation of the earthly experiences, rewards, and going to a bigger place. Okay. Because in the third position, the angel's advice for taking advantage of this energy, for taking advantage of connecting with spirit so that you can receive like the Queen, here's the Grail Knight and Omega. Again, the Grail Knight, Lancelot, bowing to the deeper truth, and there is victory. Omega says victory is coming. Keep up the good work. So I want to offer it this way for my Virgos. This is not the absence of fear. This is not how do I want to phrase it? You're not going to get physical evidence necessarily that you're guaranteed to win. This is about walking through your fears so that you know that you will win. That's what I want to say. This is about, yes, the timing is right to be a little bit afraid. Will I be able to achieve the things I want or won't I? Yes, I will. And part of that journey, part of the gift is walking through that fear. Okay, so that's how I want to put it. I hope that made sense. Okay, here we go. And I feel like somebody put a number in the chat that was too high up or too big. What was it? Lyle Vincent, 1860 is way out of range. We do 2 to 500. Okay, here we go. Let's go on to our Leos. So just in case, Virgo, just to wrap it up, this week I really feel like being brave inside of your own mind, meaning instead of contemplating all the challenges, all the how you're going to get there, it's more about contemplating the win. And as you contemplate the win, then spirit starts to open doors, starts to random weird things that you can't expect, which Uranus can bring. Okay. C, I want to offer this. It would be nice to be married to somebody amazing. As I read that sentence, I almost feel some melancholy. I feel like I'm in the story of, oh, it would be nice. Spirit would want you to go ahead and say, what does it feel like? It feels great to get up on Sunday morning and go to brunch. It feels great when he comes home or she comes home from work and we share our day. Start going into how it feels, and then spirit can start to hang that becomes an invitation. That becomes a focus. Because what we inadvertently do is we go over here to what we've experienced, and then we just see the struggle. We just see the challenge. We just see the it hasn't happened. So it's really about being able to move over here. Okay, here we go. Did you get breakfast in bed this morning? That would be fun. Okay. 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 That's funny into the light. All right, here we go. All right, for our Leos, here we start. Our first angel is Ariel. Our second is Azure. The third is Rochelle. And the final is Akasha. I'm going to say, is that Bree X3? Yeah, it's me too. There's been no breakfast in bed for me, ever. But that's okay. I like having my dog on my bed. Oh, okay, for my Leos, joining Ariel is the birth and the rebirth card. Joining Azure is the bee. Joining Rochelle is the dragon. And joining Akasha is the wasp. Okay. All right. Ariel says new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view yourself and the world. And then there's the birth and the rebirth card. This is a do-over. Okay. I want to say this because there's a little bit of a challenge going on here for my Leos. And I'm going to go to the fourth position because Akasha, the spiritual teacher card, is coupled with the wasp. And the wasp is a bit of a challenging energy. And I want to put it this way because I feel like for my Leos, I've felt like I agree with you, Stephen, that Leos have had kind of a challenging year because I feel like they've been trying to be more herd animals in some ways, or maybe more cooperative, not being so Leo-like. And I feel like that's the wrong way to go. Let your Leo flag fly because, as you're saying, your desired outcome will happen in the near future. And then here's the B card. I really believe that, Leo represents the fifth house, romance, fun, self, pleasure of self, children, childlike innocence. And sometimes I think some of the other signs get a little like, oh, Leo, relax, calm down. I don't think so. I think, Leo, this is your opportunity, is to actually be who you are. Fly high right now, because Rochelle is telling you, she's my favorite angel. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming. That's feeling harmonious wealth inside of all the aspects of the human experience. And there's the power card. And if you look at the dragon, she's cool as a cucumber. She's in this little ice castle over here. And this is really about Leo. When I look at the Akasha and the Wasp, there's a little bit of a challenge because Akasha is the spiritual teacher. And some people may get a little aggravated. We talked about Mars and Uranus and the opposition and unexpected irritability. So this may come up for you this week because people, I feel like they may be a little bit critical of you. And I feel like in some respects, you get to just push their opinions aside because I want to say this. Sometimes those people may be jealous because they aren't brave enough to roar like a lion. And that's not your problem. That's their problem. So allow yourself of the privilege of connecting with spirit so that you can have the opportunity to rebirth yourself from a stronger place and knowing that that what you want is coming, but it's going to come from your being energy. And in some respects, this is the thing. I'm not asking you to be a bulldozer over other people to get what it is that you want, but I also feel like Leo is the greatest, you're ruled by the sun. The sun is the leader of the universe. You have an opportunity to stand in leadership as you allow yourself the privilege of your pleasures, not to the exclusion of others. It's more like, look, if you guys want to have fun, go ahead and go towards what you want, but don't tell me I can't go towards what I want. I hope that made sense. Because I think other people may get cranky at you. Sorry. Okay, let's go on to our Cancers. What is SMWF? I don't quite understand that. Oh, I'm so sorry about losing your animal. That's terrible. I'm very, very sorry. But having 17 years with your animal, that is beautiful. That's awesome. My last cat, I had 17 years and he passed when he was 20. It was really, in some ways it was awful, but in other ways it was beautiful to know that I got to spend all that time with him. Okay. Oh, that's what I thought you might have met, Brianna. I wasn't sure. Okay. Okay, here we go. I've heard a lot of people, actually, that's the third animal I've heard of in the last week that's crossed over, but thankfully, most of them had a nice long life. So that's good. Okay, here we go. On to our Cancers. Our first angel is Athena. The second is Archangel Uriel. The third is Patience. And the final, is Akasha again. I like that, Stephen. Okay, joining Athena is the restriction card. Joining Archangel Uriel is the owl. Joining Patience is the fear card. Oy. And joining Akasha is the dragon. All right. So for my Cancers, a little bit of a challenge here because this feels like, okay, so we talked about this week having this new moon having some pretty spiky energy attached to it. And I feel like this might be hitting Cancer rising. Lucky, can you hear him digging underneath the coffee table? Okay. Athena is saying it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself. And then there's the restriction card. For my Cancers, I don't think this is about restricting, asserting yourself. I think it's about taking a moment to think about how you want to assert yourself. Because if you're coming from a place of annoyance and irritation, as Archangel Uriel would tell you, I feel like you may run into a challenge because you may, if you react versus choosing your actions, you may have a kickback. You may not get what you're looking for. And I say that because in the Angel's Advice is the Patience card and the Fear card. So Patience is about assimilating a situation. It's about observing it. It's about taking a moment to really look at what's happening versus reacting. And then there's the Fear card. So I want to say this. I feel a little bit like um, my Cancers may be feeling slightly disempowered or feeling a little behind the eight ball, I guess I want to put it. And I feel like a surrendering to that is really what would be most influential right now. And I want to say it this way because your power and your strength comes from your ability to actually be taught this week about how your power shows up. This is how I want to put it. I feel like, I guess I want to say it this way. Cancer can be, ruled by the moon. It's maternal, it's nurturing, it rules the fourth house. So if this week the ones that you love are kind of cranky, or maybe this holiday, there's too much hustle and bustle, and somebody, the family may be, I don't know, I'm picturing in my mind's eye, my brother-in-law sometimes on a holiday will, my sister's running around trying to get the turkey in and all this stuff. And next thing you know, he's out there with the hose cleaning the windows. And my sister's like, oh my God, why are you doing that now? That might be what's going on with Cancer this week in some ways. It might be where the people around you that you love are irritating you. And if you try to assert yourself, I don't think you're going to get anywhere. So I want to kind of put it this way, where maybe it's a little bit of a get out of jail free card. Maybe it's a little bit about sitting back a little bit. Maybe you actually have more influence when you're not trying to have influence. That's the way I kind of want to put it. Okay. Because I think if you're trying to make sure everything is perfect, it might backfire on you. Let things be a little messy this week, I guess. Let those around you be fabulously flawed. It might serve a better purpose. Okay, that's what I want to say. All right. Did I see somebody talking about Lucky over here? Let me see. Oh, Bree X3, you had a lucky dog too. Oh, it's funny because when I named Lucky, I didn't know he was going to be my dog. He was actually someone else's dog, and I couldn't believe that they got the dog. And so I thought, well, it must be a lucky dog because they got chosen. And then a week later, I had a dog named Lucky, and I'm so happy I do. He's the greatest thing ever. All right, let's go on to our Geminis before my battery runs out. Talking too much today. Oh. Okay, guys, here we go. And again, I just want to remind you, we had 2 winners this week. Bonnie Massey, 222, that was your number. And Sir Gordon Gecko, love that name, 369. You have a week to pick your prize, to claim your prize. And this week's totem, everybody, is feathers. Keep your eye out on feathers, because these are messages from heaven saying you're being watched over by God and the angels. Okay, here we go. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Stelliums, and Rising. Our first angel is Archangel Raphael. The second is Indriel. The third is Archangel Uriel. And the final is Akasha. Wow. All right. Here we go. Woo. Joining Archangel Raphael is the Mystery card. Joining Indriel is the Bee. Joining Archangel Uriel is the Focus card. And joining Akasha is the Lady of the Lake. Okay. So Archangel Raphael is the archangel of physical healing. We all kind of know that. But I want to offer you this. The Mystery card is really about choice. The human, while we have God and the angels watching over us, there is no puppet master, running our destiny. These are the things that we choose. We as souls choose this journey for a specific reason, and it's to evolve to greater depths of expression, self-expression, self-creation, and to experience love in the physical body. So in many ways, I think for Gemini this week, it's about you choosing. The healing comes from your choices. And I'm going to go to the final position because Akasha is the spiritual teacher. And then there's the Lady of the Lake. She's holding Excalibur. And she's coming up through the lake. And if you look at the lake, the waters are very choppy right now. So in some ways, she's shooting up through her emotions to her deeper truth. And that is something I think not only Gemini has to learn, but also has to teach. Because in the opportunity of the obstacle, we have the light worker, Indriel, shining your light. And if we kind of look at Archangel Raphael, look at the light and look at Indriel. See the lights above their head? It's about shining our light. It's about being activated. And this is about our being energy. So as we sit in our truth, and this is what I want to say for Gemini, our truth doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. It may be multiple things, because in the angel's advice is Archangel Uriel and the focus card. And if what you've been doing is focusing in on the challenges, on what isn't working, on what is not fun in your life, then it's time to recalibrate, because that is where you're going to have your greatest victory. These choppy waters here are not just our emotional body, it's our intuitive body. And sometimes I think when we are humans, and for the Gemini energy, you can go back and forth thinking, am I getting this hit? Aren't I? Am I being intuitive? Am I getting a sign? I'm back and forth, back and forth. And so I feel a little bit like, in order for you're going to have to choose in some respects to believe a higher vibration. You're going to have to really kind of push through what you're experiencing in the human world, in the physical world right now, and go to a deeper truth of an inner knowing. And if for some reason you have a sense of calm about a disruptive dynamic right now, then your inner knowing is starting to speak loudly. And I think it's about paying attention to that. And as I say these things, it's interesting because the fan above my head just turned on for no reason. I don't know why that happens here, but I feel like on some level, Gemini is an air sign, and I feel like the fan is trying to clear the air. So, Gemini, it's time for you to choose, and choose your deeper truth instead of what you think you're experiencing with your eyes. Okay, I think that's that. Let's go on to Taurus. Gemini is a really fun sign, I must say. Fun and flirty, and I don't know, in some ways, Gemini is kind of Leo-like in that way. You know, that mercurial, youthful, fun kind of thing. Okay, here we go. We are on to our Taurus rising, Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus stelliums, Taurus ascendants. Okay. Our first angel is Xana. The second is Fiona. The third is Teresa. And the final is, did I say Fiona and Sonia? Okay. Okay. Joining Xana is the Wealth card. Joining Fiona is the Grail Knight. Joining Teresa is the Lady of the Lake. And joining Sonia is the Owl. Okay, Taurus. Okay, so we have the Wealth card and we have Xana. The Wealth card for me is not about physical money. It's about harmonious wealth. And then I have Xana saying you're being protected. You know, Taurus, when Uranus moved into your sign, all sorts of kooky started happening. And those of you that are born late April, early May have really been getting a 1-2 punch. Uranus going in and coming out and going back and forward. And I really feel like what Uranus is offering you is that independence, is that, sometimes it has to come through an explosion of some kind, but you're being protected on a much bigger and deeper level. Because if for some reason you have been thwarting your deeper truth because you're just can't see, how can I make that happen? I want to go back to Stephen and the whole astrology thing, wanting to be an astrology teacher. That's a deeper truth. I want to offer this too, and I don't care if there's 90 million astrology teachers. It isn't really about the astrology. It's about the teacher, and the teacher creates a relationship. So when Taurus gives life to the idea that you're creating a relationship with your wants and your desires, and whatever resources that you need to make you feel secure will come into place. But part of that, that's Xana offering you protection, is about you being really authentic about with what it is that you really want. Because in the opportunity of the obstacle is Fiona. She is saying, now that you've asked God and the angels, be open to their help. You can't do this by yourself. And here's the Grail Knight again, bowing to the deeper truth. That's where it's what it's going to take, because in the angel's advice, there's the Lady of the Lake again. It's all about courage to your deeper truth. And Teresa's about worry. So the angels are saying, when you focus in on what you're worried about, and this is the thing about Taurus. I'm a Taurus moon. Your natural second house, it rules money, it rules possessions, it rules our self-worth. So if for some reason Taurus is contemplating things and your deeper truth, you can't really see how it's going to play out, it's not your job. It's not your job right now, because here is the owl, which is, wisdom and deception. And then there's Sonia. Sonia is representing your guides. Throughout this whole spread, we're seeing God is in charge of it. The loving energy of all that is in charge, of course, correcting your life. But I want to say it this way. If you have been making your decisions based on fear, based on what these unexpected changes has brought to you, and so you're like, oh no, this, I lost this. And so now I'm starting to look at my life through the lens of loss. I feel like that's where I need to shift it. It's more about, wait a minute, maybe that loss is actually bringing me something much closer to my truth. And my job is to look deeper into the situation and know that I'm being led by my guides. I want to put it this way. Sometimes when we're in situations that aren't terrible, but they're not really our deeper truth, it's hard to move out of them because there's a sense of security that's provided by it. Let's say you have a job and that job is, pays you okay. And, it's not that bad. The people you work with are okay. But, you're not feeling any big roar from it. You're not feeling excited. You're just kind of going through the motions and getting your paycheck and working for the weekend. If that's not your truth, then something's going to happen with that. Something's going to disrupt that, because Uranus is saying to Taurus, be authentic, because when you're authentic, I will reward you. And I will reward you with the joy of your deepest truth, with what you bow down to. Okay, so that's where I'm going with that. The world is being recalibrated right now, you guys. This conjunction between Pluto and Saturn only happens, as I've said millions of times, once every 184 years. And whenever I say it, I hear the Beatles. You say you want a revolution. Okay, I'm not going to sing, but that's what we want. We want a revolution. We don't want to be herd animals anymore. We want to be individuals. We want to be seen for what we bring to the table and then embraced for it. It's not like we just want to be out on an island by ourselves. So that's where I'm going with that. Okay. Okay, what's going on? All right, here we see. Gemini, every single sign has its opportunities and its obstacles. And while I love Gemini in many ways because they're fun to be around, they can also drive me a little crazy, especially Gemini moons, no offense, because their emotions shift. And I've got a Taurus moon. I'm pretty steady straight. So again, this is where we focus on the higher vibrations that are being offered to us. And as we focus on the higher vibration that comes with each sign, each vibration, that sounded kind of redundant. Let me put it this way. If you look at Aries, we can see warriors or we can see truth. We look at Taurus, we can see stubborn or we can see, being able to make things happen. It's our ability to go and see the subtle hues and then focus on the one that serves our greatest intention. And then spirit can line that up. Okay, here we go. Final sign, Aries. Wait, did I do Taurus? I'm so lost. I did Taurus, right? No, I just did Gemini. Where am I, small wildflowers? Somebody tell me, am I on Taurus? Did I do Taurus? Yes, you did Taurus. Okay. I'm on to Aries. Final one. All right. I'm losing my mind. Oh, yeah, I just did Taurus, of course. I was talking about Uranus. Oi. That's kind of the weird thing. So I sort of channel at the same time when I'm doing this. And when I'm channeling, I have no memory. Okay. All right, I'm on Aries. Here we go. Aries rising, sun, moon, and stelliums. Okay. Our first angel is Ariel. The second is Omega. The third is Celeste. And the final is Oceana. Okay. Joining Ariel is the Risk card. Joining Omega is the Cow. Joining Celeste is the High Priestess. And joining Oceana is the Dog. Wow. Okay. So, new moon on the 26th, I believe it is, in Sagittarius. And it is being influenced by the Mars and Uranus opposition. And when I look at this, I feel like this is so wild because here, to me, Ariel is about new psychic and spiritual experiences, changing the way that you view yourself and the world. And then we have the Risk card. This is really Mars. This is Mars, the truth, the deeper truth. And risking is a very Uranian energy. Okay, so for my Aries, rising sun, moon, and stelliums, it is time to connect with spirit, to risk the idea that if you don't take action with something, your action is to connect with spirit, because I'm going to go in the final position. The Dog represents unconditional love, loyalty, and sincerity. And Oceana says to take action to lovingly assert yourself. I believe that that is not about taking physical action per se before you connect with spirit. So this is how I put it. When I do my morning meditation, I do kind of a combination of things. I put an intention out there. So I tell spirit, thank you for bringing all the people who will best be served by my gifts and my talents, and for drawing them to me. And then I spend some time thanking spirit for giving me messages that will support my mission. So I feel like the victory, this is my opportunity and my obstacle, comes from me connecting to spirit, and then me being able to give and receive. This is about nourishment. It's about abundance. And this is telling me that when I risk connecting to spirit, because it's not a logical thing. Most human beings are going to tell you, you must go pound the pavement. You have to work hard. You have to make things happen. And that's very Aries. Of course, I want to make things happen. But what spirit is saying is you've got to risk a bigger picture here, Aries, knowing that you take your action, but once you've taken it, not until you've connected with spirit, because that's where you will be victorious and abundant. And the angels say that this is going to shift the way you're thinking about things. You're going to start to be able to perceive your future from a bigger picture. And things like winning the lottery, or becoming a movie star, or having your own YouTube channel, or being an astrology teacher will not feel so pie in the sky. It'll start to feel more tangible and more real, because as I risk a bigger picture of connecting with spirit, this is where I start. Then I start to experience it. This is where I start to really feel that I love my life. I love my life because I'm taking action based on my deeper truth, and spirit is supporting me, showing me, giving me evidence that my shift in the way I'm thinking is bringing me the abundance I'm looking for. I recently, guys, I had a moment a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and I had a gentleman who I was dating, and he bought me a car 10 years ago. And he never turned the car over to me. He just paid for it. And I know it might sound like I'm not grateful, but I didn't enjoy driving that car. It felt like every time I went out, I got hit 3 times in that car. And it just kept being very apparent to me that the vibration with which this car was being given to me was not authentic. It was not real. And I was fear-based in receiving the car. I gave the car back. I did not save money to buy a new car. I live in California. Most people say you need to have a car so that you can work. I work from home. I took a big risk in some respects, giving back that car, knowing that I will continue to thrive as I follow my heart and I do what is authentic to me. So I guess this is where I'm going for my Aries. I'm not telling you to give away your cars or anything, but I'm saying that when you bank on yourself, when you put your energetic money on you, you will win. And you will win because you're connecting through spirit and then going into the material world. I'm convinced that I made the right decision because I walk on my feet into the light. I actually get around. I walk a lot. And then I Uber. I decided, why have a car when I can Uber? It's not fun to go out and have a drink anymore because you can't drive home because you may hurt yourself or others. So what do? You get an Uber. So I just started to think, well, rather than having a car payment and insurance payment, why don't I just have an Uber payment every once in a while? And I live in a town where I can walk around. So I've sort of gotten insanely brave is the way I want to put it. And I think my insanity is really sane. That's the way I want to put that. I'm not telling you all to give up your security. I'm just saying that for me, that was the right decision to make. And I believe that spirit will support me being brave moving forward. And if indeed the time comes when I do need to own a car again, then everything that all the resources to get that car will be provided for me. So I want to offer this to wrap things up. This is a week that we in the United States celebrate Thanksgiving. And I think that one of the things I'm the most grateful for this year is this Sunday morning time with you guys. And the privilege of being able to be here for almost a year. Next month will be a year that we've been here every Sunday. And I want to thank Small Wildflowers for volunteering her time every week to be here and to, take care of all of you guys, not only in the chat, but afterwards when she puts in the timestamps and the numbers that have been played. And I look forward to, as this intense time comes, I actually look forward to the gifts that it has to offer. I'm not always so excited about swimming through my own crankiness or being short with people, but overall, things are better than they're not. And I feel like it's important for us to start to focus in on that. So that's what I want to say. That's this week. We have a new moon in Sagittarius. It will be a bit of a challenging mood. If you find yourself irritable, if you find yourself a little cranky, that you can thank Uranus and Mars for that. If you find other people that way, try to do your best to be gentle with yourself or with them. We had 2 winners this week. It was awesome. I'm going to say it one last time. Bonnie Massey, 222, and Sir Garden Gecko, 369. You have 1 week to claim your prize. We're going to start pulling 2 numbers a week so we can start having more winners. And I'll be back next Thursday. I'll be back next Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time with more messages from your angels by astrological rising sign. I want to thank you again for all being here, sending lots of love to you. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And for those of you that are in other parts of the world, have a wonderful week. Know that I'm grateful for all of you. Namaste, everybody. May God and the angels watch over you. See you next week.